Welcome everyone, this is going to be a 2v2 on Country Swing, a very classic map here. A very classic map that pro players like to play on. I'm not sure why it's not an official tournament map, but it definitely should be. The way it's set up, how symmetrical it is, and how close quarters everything is, it definitely should be an official tournament map. But here, this is not going to be your typical 2v2. It's going to be left versus right, actually. So it's going to be Cork, green Iraqi Soviets, and Jizoni, which is the blue Great Britons, against the right side, which is very weird. And they were discussing this in the lobby. Actually, it wasn't even discussed, from what I can remember. This game happened probably like a month ago. I just randomly found it in my archives, and I was like, I haven't even uploaded this video, I might as well do it. And also, so yeah, this is the last game of the 3-round series that these 4 players were having. It's definitely very good matches on all of them. If you guys haven't seen them, I'll put the links at the end of the video. So you guys can go click on them if you want. But yeah, it's like I said, it's left versus right. I can't remember if super weapons are on, honestly. I mean, super weapons are always on with, whenever you play skill games with skilled players. They always like to put super weapons on. I'm pretty sure they are on. I don't know. But either way, yeah, it's left versus right, which is really stupid. It's the first time that I've ever seen a left versus right on Country Swing, which was literally dedicated to be top versus bottom. So as you guys can see here, Jizoni isn't even really... He's the player that gets killed really fast because he wasn't really expecting. Well, I can't really say what he was thinking, but he claims that he thought it was going to be a left versus right, but here he's already kind of getting ready for an attack from AWF Mindware, which is literally right next to him. So yeah, it is kind of lame because games like these, they can just they can go super quickly whenever it's left versus right on a map that's dedicated to be top versus bottom, because you're literally neighbors, your enemy's literally right next to you, and it only takes like a matter of a minute or two before one player dies, and then before you know it's going to be 2 versus 1. So in this case, that's kind of basically what happened. But then AWF Mindware quits. He's a pretty good sport, and so he's going to let McDick and Cork fight it out to the death. So, kudos for him for being a good sport, for letting these 2 players actually have a chance of having a decent game. But yeah. So I really don't recall much. I can't remember who wins. Even if I did win, I really wouldn't say that. But yeah, and AWF Mindware was gonna quit like any second now. Don't worry. But yeah. So Cork. I've played Cork before. In not really like 1v1, but just kind of in like whatchamacallit, just in randomly throughout my days. I will run into him every once in a while, playing like Heck Freezes Over, or Sedona, or whatever, and we'll fight like every now and then. But he is a worthy opponent. He's definitely a Soviet player. Although I'm pretty sure he could play allies as well, just as effectively, but he's a very dangerous Soviet player. He knows how to micro, he knows how to build, he knows the ins and outs of the game, just like I do, and it always gets me nervous every time I face an opponent that I know 100% knows what they're doing. So yeah, and speaking of which, I actually faced this one guy, he said it was like a week ago. I ran into him in a lobby. I've never heard of him, but he was like, aren't you top 10? I was like, oh, totally, I am top 10, no doubt. And he's like, okay, 1v1 me then after this game. I'm like, oh, okay, alright. And then it got me thinking, this guy wanted me to 1v1 him after I said I was top 10. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is actually probably top 10, he's probably legit. And I was just screwing around. I'm actually not. And so, little did I know, after we finished, a game, we were playing like Sedona, 6 people, so we didn't really 1v1 there. But once we actually had a proper 1v1, he was playing Korea and he absolutely wrecked me. We played 3 games and he wrecked me all 3 times. It was ridiculous. The guy has major skill. I don't even know his name. I've never even heard of him. He might have changed his name. He's probably one of those people who changes his name. But yeah. Anyways, he just absolutely wrecked me. That was the first time that I actually got wrecked in like a good while. And for once, I actually felt like I was scrawny. I was like this scrawny little dude at this gym with a bunch of big dudes, and I felt like I had no skill. I thought I was good. But yeah, I really wish I remembered the name. I can't remember. But anyway, so I'm gonna start talking about this game here, this awesome game here. So there really hasn't been much action. That's why I kind of drifted off into something else. But here, McDick is kind of expanding wisely. And he expands actually a little bit early before Cork does. So he's gonna get that head start. His miners are gonna go ahead and get a head start and keep up that cash flow. And here, McDick is probably going to get his MCV wrecked. So yeah, he's in a pretty tight situation. I'm not sure why McDick just pulled out. He has 4 tanks and there's absolutely nothing near Cork's MCV. So that's kind of a big mistake. But yeah, so here comes 2 tanks, and here's already 5 in his new expansion. So this is going to be very interesting to see how Cork plays this off. And these guys are just kind of really scared to attack each other. Honestly, they're really kind of just, really giving each other the fist. Kind of like taunting each other, but not really making any true commitments to engage one. And here's the first engagement. Here we go. Cork looks like he's probably going to get the worst of this. He's running into those sentry guns. He's going to run into those miners in just a bit. Looks like he did win that miner engagement. He does have more tanks, but like I said, he's just running straight into those miners. And wow, that is actually, wow. I honestly thought McDick was going to come out of this one hands down, but it looks like I was wrong. Cork, I don't know, this is pretty even now. McDick is going to be chasing away his stragglers. Oh, and there's a fully promoted Rhino tank. That is going to be extremely deadly. That's going to work wonders for McDick. And now Cork is going to need to rally up his forces, although now McDick could basically just end him right now. So that was probably the first and the only, that was the first battle and the last battle. First and last battle for Cork. That is the decisive battle that, what am I even saying? I don't even know what I'm saying. Game over. There we go.